Davis, broker in charge at Coron B Realty, and with another session of Ask Doug. And today someone asked me about more, again, just different people asked me about the shoreline and what's happening and what do you do if you have a home on the water or are contemplating buying one on the water. What do you do? What's happening? What are the mechanics? What do we look for? Are we going to be safe? All those kinds of questions, all relating to the sea level rise and owning property on the beach. So let me start. I'm going to share a screen. I'm just picking a random area. It was easy for me to go and take pictures and a couple of videos to demonstrate what's happening. So let me do I'm doing a Google Earth. I hope I can do all of this. Here, okay, so you should be able to see a map here. Let me fade out. Yeah, here's Diamond Head, Waikiki's over here, and this is Kahala Beach. So you can see here's the hotel, Kahala, and you can see the white sand going along here, and then no sand down here, with a couple of beaches appearing here and one here, where from this point down, people have hardened with these couple of exceptions. So just wanted to show that our state and scientists say that if you harden the properties, in other words, put a seawall up, then the sand disappears. So all of this here is all hardened and there's no beach. But then, I don't know, it might be deeper and you know, the trade winds blow this direction, so there's more little wavelets moving the sand out and away. So, but here's an interesting thing. Let me zoom in on this property here, and I'll go to the other one. It's gone into, see, this property is hardened, and this one has a seawall. And so it's scooping out this property here. Same thing with this one. See, it's scooped out. Interestingly, if you look at this, the scoop is the same as the rest of the beach. You can see it's the same distance. Not interesting. So it's, well, it's eating away the shoreline and going into these properties. I think we need to know a geological definition of a beach. So almost everyone thinks of a beach as the water up to the vegetation line as the beach, the white sand that we can stand on. But that's not it. The beach here, let me zoom in on this. You've got, here's the water line, and it's all up here. This is all sand, all of this. So over the years, the ocean can borrow the sand from inside, but it can't do that anymore because we have houses sitting on it, or parking lots, or improvements, or we've walled it out, so it no longer can share with the beach, no longer can share with that dynamic of replenishment. But an opinion on that is, I think we should harden everything, because if we don't, it's going to start taking all the mud, all the dirt, and everything out to the reefs. And that'll be continuous. And I don't think that's a good idea for our corals. Let me share some more direct things. Here's a photo of a portion of Kahala Beach. and you can see how it's scooping out, and there is a layer of dirt and then more sand on top of that. So all of this is going out into the ocean, right? And you can see that undermining of the plants and the trees. Let me share another one. This a little bit further, and you can see even the trees and coconut tree roots are. There doesn't seem to be any tree or plant that can contain the soil, retain the soil. It just doesn't work. They just get undermined and then they fall over, and then the waves eventually take the roots out into the beach and maybe out to sea eventually. Okay. And then I had a couple of little videos that go up and down. Share screen. Oh, I had one more. This was one of those non-fortified properties along the beach, that first of the two. And you can see their sprinkler system. You can see coconut tree roots here, but nothing will stop it. And apparently this particular property had a lawn that maybe was out to here, right? But it went to the common line that's up and down the entire coastline there. All right, and then share this little video. So here's the same place. You can see where it's, this one is unfortified, no seawall, and just let it run here. Yeah, that's my hand there. So it's all eating this, and it's undermined these plants. Here's I think a coconut tree root here, but the tree's gone. And you can see the space underneath the rocks there. You advance a little bit more. So it just hollows it out underneath, and then it just falls down. And yeah, there's a coconut tree. Didn't make it. This one didn't make it. So their lawns were probably out here. It's gone back that far. And then here's coming up is what they call a burrito. It's a sandbag filled with sand, and that's to stop the temporarily to stop the ocean from coming into the property. And this one looks like it's holding up pretty well. Well, there's a crack in it. It's torn, so that'll have to be redone. But then DLNR may revoke all of these. It's temporary, so I don't know what's going to happen. And I have one more. Last one. And hold on. Sorry about that. Here we go. Don't think you can see that. Oh well, too complicated for me. So, all right. So just showing the beach and what's happening with the ocean, and it's not the normal tide that is doing it, but it's the extreme tides, the extreme like king tide or storms, windstorms that bring the waves up higher onto the beach that's scooping it out. And with the sea level rise, which I can perceive, there's several things I've watched over the decades, and the ocean is now up and touching certain benchmarks that I know. There's a bridge on Macaulay that I watch, and it's touching concrete where it never did before. And I've watched that all my life. And so it's definitely come up. And that combined with full moon or new moon and king tides, you get some higher ocean action, and that's what scoops it out. And then it doesn't get replenished because the houses are sitting on top of the geological beach, and it doesn't allow for the replenishment. So it's just getting skinnier and skinnier. And if we have a real high ocean level rise, I mean, all bets are off. We won't have any sand beaches here in Hawaii, would be my opinion. It'll be above them all, and that'll all be just sitting out on the reefs. So there you go. What do you do? Well, right now, the temporary fix is the burritos, the gigantic sandbags. They're really large. I mean, some of them are maybe 15, 20 feet long and about 4, 5, 6 feet wide. Extremely heavy, got a big machinery to delicately put them on there, and then there they sit, and hopefully they're stacked so that the weight keeps them there and they don't get undermined by the wave action, which can happen if it's a large slope, steep slope. So you just have to look at each property and see if that's how much time do you think that the property could have, and hopefully our government will seek some solutions rather than have all the properties be washed away. And that's where I worry about the reefs, because of the amount of mud that will continuously go into the water. So it's not an easy answer, that's for sure. Okay, hope that helps. A little bit of visual. You can actually see what's happened here with the pictures and little video that I took. You can see the taking away. All right. And that was someone asked me that question, so there's some information for you. Thanks for that, and until next week. Thanks.